I thought losing my husband was the end of my story. I didn't know it was only the beginning of a nightmare he never warned me about. I stood frozen in the doorway of my late husband's farmhouse, my entire body shaking so badly. The keys slipped from my fingers and hit the wooden floor with a loud, unforgiving crack. The sound echoed through the house. I didn't bend to pick them up, because what I was seeing stole the air from my lungs. This place wasn't empty. It wasn't abandoned. It wasn't forgotten. It was lived in. 3 couches faced each other like people actually gathered here. Books lay open, not dusty, not staged. Women's sweaters were draped over chairs. Different sizes. Different lives. By the door, tiny shoes. Children's shoes. My chest tightened so hard it hurt. I lifted my eyes to the walls and felt something inside me fracture. Drawings. Everywhere. Crayon houses. Stick figure families. Flowers. Suns. Happy drawings. On the mantel, photographs sat in mismatched frames. Women smiling at the camera. Teen girls. Children I had never seen before in my life. And not a single photo of me. I remember whispering out loud, barely able to hear my own voice. What is this place? 3 weeks earlier, my life had been quiet. Predictable. Safe. Then George died. The police knocked on my door late in the afternoon. They said his car went off the road near Moorfield Pass. He died instantly. I nodded. I answered questions. I stood there holding my coat like I was watching someone else's life fall apart. We'd been married for years. Not passionate. Not dramatic. Just steady. He worked with numbers. I worked with numbers. We ate dinner together. Watched television. Lived a small, quiet life. At least, I thought we did. 3 days a week, he left early and came home late. Going to the farm, he'd say, kissing my forehead. The farm. The place I was never allowed to see. I asked once, early in our marriage. The memory still makes my stomach turn. His jaw tightened. His eyes went cold. No, he said. You can't go there. It's not safe. Promise me you'll never go. And I promised. Because I trusted him. Because I didn't push. Because I was good at following rules. After the funeral, his lawyer slid the keys across the desk toward me. The farm is yours now. Something in his tone made my skin prickle. I said I'd sell it. Immediately. I didn't want it. I didn't want the memories. He insisted I see it first. Now I knew why. Standing in that living room, surrounded by proof of lives my husband had protected in secret, one terrifying truth settled deep in my chest. George didn't just hide something from me. He built an entire world and made sure I never stepped inside it. And just as that thought settled in, I heard it. A soft creak from upstairs. Footsteps. Someone else was in the house with me. My heart slammed so hard, I thought it might give me away. Someone was upstairs. Not a sound from the wind. Not an old house settling. Footsteps. Slow. Careful, like whoever it was didn't want to be heard. Every instinct screamed at me to run back to my car, to get out, to pretend I'd never unlocked that door. But my legs wouldn't move. This was my husband's house. My property. And someone was inside it. Hello? My voice came out thin, shaky. I know someone's up there. This is private property. Silence. Then, whispering. More than one voice. My fingers fumbled for my phone, hovering over the emergency call. I took one step toward the stairs, then another, each one heavier than the last. I'm calling the police, I said louder, forcing strength into my voice. You need to come out. Please don't. The voice was young. Female. Terrified. I froze. A girl appeared at the top of the stairs, shaking so badly I could see it from where I stood. Her eyes were red. Her hair tangled. Her hands clenched like she was bracing for impact. "Please," she whispered. "He promised we were safe here. Promised." Before I could speak, another woman stepped beside her, older, guarded, her body angled protectively. "Who are you?" she demanded. "Why are you here?" "I'm Amanda Pierce," I said, my voice steadier now. "This farm belonged to my husband. He died. I inherited it." The words hung in the air. The older woman's face drained of color. "Your husband," she repeated slowly. "Mr. George, was married?" The way she said it, shocked, genuine, made my stomach drop. We stood there staring at each other, three strangers bound by one dead man's secret. They told me their names, how long they'd been living there, how George had found them when they had nowhere else to go. No demands, no conditions, just safety. My husband, the man I thought I knew, had been sheltering vulnerable women in secret. I didn't even have time to process it before panic slammed into the room. "There's a truck," the girl whispered, peering out the window. "Someone's coming." The older woman rushed to look and went white. She grabbed my arm hard. "Did anyone follow you?" I shook my head. "I don't think so." "Why?" Her voice dropped to a whisper filled with terror. "That's him." My blood turned to ice. "Who?" I asked. The girl backed away, shrinking into herself. "My stepfather," the woman said. "If he finds her here, he'll kill her." Before I could think, the girl was pushed down the hallway, hidden in a closet, the door closing softly. And suddenly, everything changed. This wasn't about secrets anymore. This was about protecting someone from a man already at the door. I didn't feel brave. One felt terrified. But when I walked toward the front door, something inside me hardened. Whoever George had been protecting, I wasn't about to fail them now. I stepped onto the porch, legs shaking but voice firm. "Can I help you?" I asked. The man, tall, broad-shouldered, grey eyes cold as steel, didn't smile. "I'm looking for a blonde girl. 16. Skinny. You seen anyone like that?" My heart hammered. Every nerve in my body screamed danger. I just inherited this farm. It's been empty," I said, trying to sound calm. "No one's been here." His eyes narrowed. And then, that smile. A predator's smile. "You're lying," he said, and I felt it in my bones. I can always tell when someone lies. He stepped closer. The smell of cigarettes and something sour hit me. Before he could move another inch, I raised my phone. "One more step and I'm calling the sheriff. This is private property." His fists clenched. "You know what happens to people who lie to me," he said quietly. "Bad things. Accidents. Wouldn't want anything unfortunate to happen." A chill ran down my spine. Was he talking about George? "Get off my property now," I said, trying to inject every ounce of authority I had. He backed up slowly, eyes still locked on mine. "I'll be around," he said. "And when I find her, there will be consequences." Then he was gone, driving slowly, memorizing every barn, every building. I sank onto the porch steps. My legs gave out. My hands shook. Adrenaline fading, fear rushing in. Helena stepped beside me, face grim. "You did good," she said quietly. "But men like him, they always come back." I looked at Claire, hidden upstairs, face pale and trembling. The weight of George's secrets, and this danger he'd kept at bay, now fell on me. And suddenly, I knew. I had to fight. Not for me. For them. For George's secret sanctuary. I stepped inside, heart pounding so hard it felt like it would burst. Claire was curled on the couch, eyes wide with terror. Helena stood between us, protective, her jaw tight. "I can't. He'll kill me if he finds me," Claire whispered, voice trembling. I gripped her hands. Not on my watch. I promise you. No one hurts you here. Helena led me to a door I hadn't noticed before. George's office. It's time you see this, she said, her voice low, urgent. The room smelled faintly of old paper and leather. Helena pulled open a false drawer, revealing a hidden compartment. Inside, a journal. Photographs, papers carefully stacked. I opened the journal. George's handwriting. Precise, familiar. And the first words I saw hit me like a punch to the chest. October 3rd. Brought Patricia flowers today. 10 years since I lost her. I still can't forgive myself. Patricia, George's sister. He carried this grief silently for all these years, quietly building a sanctuary for women he could save, starting with strangers who'd never known safety. My hands shook as I flipped the pages. Names, dates, notes about women he'd sheltered. Small victories, near misses, lives quietly saved. And then, the entries right before his death. May 2nd, someone is watching. Photographs left under my door. I need to go to the police. The last entry was May 8th. George died May 9th. He never made it. A cold, sickening thought crawled into my chest. Did someone want him gone? Brendan. Claire whispered from the doorway, pale and trembling. It has to be Brendan. He's obsessed. He'll do anything to find me. Helena's face darkened. If he hired someone to watch us, he's known about this place for weeks. Maybe longer. My chest tightened. The reality hit me. The farm wasn't just a house anymore. It was a target. And now it was mine to protect. The next moment shattered the fragile calm. A brick smashed through the front window. Glass flying across the living room. Claire screamed, pressing herself against the wall. I picked up the brick, hands trembling, and saw a note wrapped around it. Stop hiding what doesn't belong to you. My blood ran cold. Whoever did this had no fear. Call the police, Helena urged, voice tight. But I realized something. We couldn't just wait. We were under threat. I dialed 911, explaining everything. The visit from Brendan, the threatening note, and the women George had been sheltering. While we waited, I felt a strange surge of determination. This was my responsibility now. I had to honor George's work, protect them, and fight whoever threatened them. Deputy Torres arrived. Sharp, no nonsense. Someone who could see the danger immediately. She took notes, listened to every detail, and promised protection. Claire, trembling, finally looked at me. Will he come back? Yes, I said, voice steady now. But we're ready. I won't let him harm you. Over the next weeks, the farmhouse transformed. The largest barn became private apartments, each with safety measures, locks, cameras. Helena became resident manager, partner in every decision. Legal protections, therapy sessions, job training programs. The women were no longer hidden, no longer defenseless. And Claire, she smiled for the first time in months. Her baby took wobbly steps in the kitchen. A new life, built from courage, grief, and love. I stood in George's office one night, touching the photographs on the wall. Patricia, George, and us, together. I get it now, I whispered. The secrets, the fear, the love behind it. I promise I will keep them safe. The farmhouse, once forbidden, was now a sanctuary. The locked doors had become open arms. And I, Amanda Pierce, was no longer just the wife kept away. I was the guardian, the protector, the one who would make sure no one in need would ever be turned away again.